Hi, my name's Luke.
And my name's Danny.
And we're from Thunder.
Yes, we are.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Did we say Thunder?
Yes, we did.
Splendid.
And it feels just like it's resurrection day.
I think we're very similar. We've always wanted to be in a band. We like being in a band. We've never really had any kind of massive desire to be famous. We just wanted to be successful. And I think we're very fortunate that we do have a degree of success, and we have audiences who will buy our tickets and buy our records, and we get to do what we do. So it's a good life, much better than digging a road.
I don't think.
No.
I think we're probably more the kind of people who. The star bit, it's not really us. I think we've been musicians for a long, long time. I mean, we started a band together at school, and I think we both enjoy the process of making music, and we're fortunate enough that it's our career and that people will pay us to do it. Fools. So it's nice that we have the opportunity to do something, which is a lot more pleasant than most jobs. And also we get to come to lovely places like this and meet lovely people like yourself, and we get to travel, which is great. You get to see a lot of the world, and we get to perform on stage, and we appreciated by lots of people. So that's a pretty good job. But the star thing, I think all of us kind of like. I mean, I like to go to the supermarket. I wouldn't like to be too famous. It would affect my food shopping seriously. Our breakthrough moment. Our first kind of thing I remember as being an important breakthrough really was on our first album. The first single from our first album didn't really do much. It just kind of got the word out there to people that we were around and we were a new band. But our second single went into the British Top 40 singles, and that was a big moment. Because before we started Thunder, we'd been in other bands together and stuff, and without achieving too much success, learning a lot, but not being particularly successful. And I think once we began Thunder, it became very successful, particularly in the UK, very quickly. So, but that moment when the song was called "Dirty Love," and that was our first kind of chart hit. For me, it was I actually can't remember because I bought 2 albums in the same week, and it was either Aladdin Sane by David Bowie, or it was a compilation of T-Rex hits, but I can't remember which one it was. It was the same. It was probably the David Bowie album, actually, but I'm not 100% sure. Could have been either. Remember the first single that I bought, which was Dave Edmunds, and it was called "I Hear You Knocking," and that was in 1971.
Yeah, the first single I bought was "Hot Love" by T-Rex. Okay. I think that was probably about the same time, so 1970 maybe, but weirdly, the first 2 albums I bought were also Aladdin Sane and T-Rex. That's very strange. I never knew that.
But they were the biggest 2 artists, I suppose, around in England at the time. So, and the first band I ever saw live was T-Rex. So it's Mark Bolan's fault that I'm sitting here now, basically. It's hard to pick a best one. I think the one that had a very... I can remember 2 that had a very profound effect. First one was probably seeing Van Halen for the first time, which was very early in their career, and they put on a show like that I'd sort of never seen the like of before. They were very over the top, very theatrical, very Californian. And then after that, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, just because he's a fantastic entertainer. I'm not particularly a fan of his albums, but live he's unbelievable.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Van Halen was the first one where I really saw a frontman entertain an audience and get an audience under control. Up until then, all the bands I'd seen, they just played. They didn't entertain in their same way. So for me, it was very much Van Halen was a real big deal, and I think Bruce Springsteen as well, from one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Now. Normally, I listen to myself, actually, when I'm taking a shower, singing.
Yeah, same.
Oh, where's the soap? That kind of thing, I've got shampoo in my eyes. That's
strange man.
I tend not to listen to music in the shower. I listen to music doing everything else pretty much, but never in the shower for some reason.
No, I tend to make the music in the shower. It's a great time to practice singing, actually, because the steam's very good for your voice. Or 70s disco.
70s disco.
Absolutely. all day long.
James Brown, oh crikey, Barry White,
Motown,
yeah.
Stax, Atlantic, soul music. Love it. Absolutely love it.
And you're dancing to it?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely, like very, very old men.
Yeah, like your grandfather.
Oh, okay. For me, one or two things. Back in Black by AC/DC is an absolute monster. If you turn it up loud, it's very difficult to resist it. Oh, crikey. Anything by Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would say Enter Sandman, Metallica. That's probably the tune that I need to play the loudest.
First car. Mine was a German car, actually. It was a Volkswagen Golf.
My first car was a Mini. Little Mini, an old Mini. Very old Mini. Every time you drove it was green. And every time you drove it, something fell off. Yeah. A window fell out. Mirror fell off, you know. All kinds of things fell off. Yeah, it was a very old car.
Yes. For me, it was working in a shop that sold frozen food. And it was very hard work. It was 1976, which was a very hot summer. But it's quite cool because they had these huge freezers. So when you got too hot, you could go and stand in the freezer or accidentally knock over the ice cream. Oh, I've knocked it, I have to eat it now. So that was good. But yeah, no, that was good. But it was very satisfying getting my first proper pay packet, yes.
My first work was delivering newspapers. I used to deliver newspapers very early in the morning on my bicycle. And the bag of papers was very heavy, and I was a very small child, so it was very difficult work. But I did it every day for maybe 2 or 3 years. I loved it, absolutely loved it, and I liked getting the money. It was a great feeling.
Oh, my first beer. Now, I think it was in England. We had this horrible stuff called bitter, which is not like good German beer. This is like really bad English beer, and it was the fashion when we were first started going into pubs. You would have what was called a light and bitter. So you'd have a bottle of light ale and half a pint of bitter in the glass, and then you would top up the bitter with the light. It's revolting. No wonder I was sick a lot as a teenager. But that's actually one of the reasons why it's great to come to Germany is you guys have the best beer in the world, and it's a wonderful thing. And if I lived here, I would be very fat and alcoholic.
No, I don't. It was a lot of beers ago. Yeah, many beers. Yes, I was dared to kiss the new girl in school. Her name was Claire. I'll never forget it. Yeah. She joined the school, she was brand new, and all the boys loved her immediately. And I was dared by all the other boys in my class to kiss her after school. So, not being one to refuse a dare, I had to go do it, which was very difficult, and I was very nervous. I think I was probably 10. And it was...
Unfortunately, she was 35.
Yes, and I kissed her stomach. No, it was a very strange thing, but it was very exciting and very wonderful. Yeah, I remember it very clearly. What was your first kiss? Was it our drummer?
Ugh. I'm not that kind of girl. What was... yes, I do actually remember. I do remember. And I do, and it was a girl called Moya. It's an unusual name. And I think I was a bit older. I think I was about 12. Yes, I do remember it.
Very special, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Don't want to talk about it. Do you remember your first cigarette?
Yes. It was, I think I was about 10 years old, and it was in the, probably like a lot of people, it was in the primary school toilets, and it was a Players number 6, and it was absolutely revolting, but I should have stopped then, but I didn't. I started smoking after that, and smoked for a lot of years, and I only gave up probably 16 years ago, so, or less, maybe 15 years ago. But, yeah, terrible habit. I blame Jimi Hendrix because I used to think it looked cool sitting in the end of the guitar like that, you know. But yeah, bad thing smoking. Best thing I ever did was not do it anymore.
Yeah, my first cigarette was one of his, and it didn't last very long. I hated it immediately, and I never smoked again. So, yeah.